Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mayor Baraka's Facebook Live. Today, we're going to discuss about DPW spring cleaning and summer cleanup, also the partnership with Newark People's Assembly. My name is Cynthia McElroy. I'm over Newark People's Assembly, and we have Director Tyreek Roline of DPW, and we're just going to talk about some things and inform the community about the city cleanness. Tyreek, I'm sorry. So Newark People's Assembly is responsible for engaging the community, making sure your voice heard, also creating block associations and tenant associations, getting the community involved. We send out email blasts twice a week, letting the residents know what's going on in our city. And based upon that, we had a lot of concerns where being addressed about the cleanliness of our city. So we teamed up with DPW to basically have conversations. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn it over to Tyreek Roline, the director, to let you know what he's responsible for.
Thank you, Cynthia. Good evening, everyone. Super excited about our conversation today. Over the past 2, 3 months, Cynthia and I have been working very closely to kind of bridge the gap between the residents and the community. In the Department of Public Works, we oversee, we're responsible for the beautification and cleanliness of the city. That is recycling, street sweeping, refuse collection, bulk collection, snow, parks and grounds, illegal dumpings, board up on houses, demolishing, right? So the meetings was for all of us to be able to get to connect, to look out of each other lenses and figure out how DPW can better serve you. I know in our meetings that we had, Cynthia will, talk about some of the things that came up as it pertains to recycling, refuge, illegal dumping. So I'll pass it over to you and we can begin to unpack it.
So Newark People's Assembly, in collaboration with DPW, hosted town hall meetings throughout the entire city and each ward. And we basically invited the community to come out. Again, Newark People's Assembly is about making your voice heard. So we listened to the community. And what we understood was that the challenges of DPW had and how we can help move the city forward based upon the community concerns, which was around recycling, illegal dumping, street sweeping, and trash cans. So, Director, for people who did not attend the meeting, you want to explain to them how we working to fix that problem in our city?
Yes. So our our biggest issue right now in the city, and one of the challenges that we had, to be fully transparent, with our recycling schedule. We experienced, a rough winter, a windy winter, very cold, and we just had to, try to be able to adjust based upon, some of the residents' concerns and what we could and what we had the capacity to do. So in January, we had changed our recycling schedule from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. the day of. So that meant that if if your recycling was being collected on a Monday or Thursday, if you were in zone A, we were collecting the day of, right? We made that change. And if it was on Tuesday and Friday, we'd be collecting 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. the day of. When we made that adjustment, one of the issues that came up was we began to pick the materials up, in an effective and timely manner. However, the materials were laying out much, much longer. And what that meant was that, if you placed your recycling and your trash out according to the ordinance between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. the day before, we more than likely wouldn't get to your location or to your house until later on that night, that day of. So the materials were laying out there probably for about 24 hours. And that would allow, materials to blow, materials to spill over, things that would negatively impact the residents. So we have, since March 17th, we have moved back to our previous schedule. What we are doing now is collecting from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. the day before. And I'll explain. If you are in zone A and your recycling or your trash collection is Monday and Thursday, we will be collecting it from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday night going into Tuesday morning. Right? If you are in zone B, we'll be collecting Monday night going into Tuesday morning, but we'll also be collecting on Thursday night as well for zone B. If your items are, you have been missed, if you didn't get an opportunity to place them out, right? Please don't be alarmed. You can reach us at 973-733-3644. Again, that's 973-733-3644. You have our website that has been pinned on the Facebook page. You can always reach out to us and respond, and we'll respond rapidly to address those concerns.
Now, what if I'm a resident and I don't know my zone? How will I know what zone I'm in? Are you able to tell what zones is A and B?
Yes, so if you visit our website, you can search for your zone. You can put your address there, and it will actually show you. You can schedule a pickup, right? If we missed it, you can schedule a white good pickup. But our website is the best tool to gain information. I will say, as it pertains to the recycling schedule, on the days and times that I just said, that adjustment or change on the website will be made tonight. It's not currently there, so if you log on to it right now, you will see a different time, but by tomorrow morning, you'll see the new schedule with it.
Okay. And so, what about illegal dumping, right? How does someone report illegal dumping? Like, what do we have in store for illegal dumping?
Again, the website is the best tool to be able to report. You can always call 973-733-3644. Just to give residents, some information. When calling, our customer service reps, will ask a series of questions, right? Can you take a picture? Please don't, be frustrated. These are some of the things that we would like to get an eye on to be able to see, how much manpower we would have to send out, what kind of truck. So we'll actually take a picture. We'll ask it, did you see it? Is it, things like that. So you can give us a picture. You can check our website and schedule it. And a lot of times we have our supervisors who are, who are out there on the scenes that letting us know, as well as working with the council member's office and other folks from the administration.
Also, so street sweeping, we understand that was a concern. Can you tell us about the street sweeping? How do we moving forward to improve our street sweeping?
Yes, so with street sweeping, that's a great question. That was a huge issue as well. Currently, as the city is growing, we all know that a couple years ago we had about 200, I think, yeah, about 280,000 plus people. Now we have 305 plus. So when we first began to do street sweeping in-house and bring it in-house, at the time, we had needed about between 10 and 13, street sweepers. We went and got a street sweeper that we thought would assist us, right? It was cost effective, it could do the job. And then, when we begin to put those sweepers in practice and put our plan in practice, we learned very fast that we had to pivot. And what I mean by that is that, that we need a different type of equipment. You may or may have not seen the bigger Timcos that are out there. So we're going to transfer and transition from the Ravos to the Timcos. We now need about 17 to 20 brooms to sweep the city. We ran into some equipment issues. However, but we do have a capital improvement plan. We will be getting some of that equipment this summer to better serve you. What I will say is that if your street has not been swept, please reach out to the website. Please call the number that is on the website so we can come out. Our residents will always be out there or have, more eyes than us, right? Please don't wait till 3 or 4 weeks or a week to go by. We can respond and we can work together, and figure out our best solutions to be able to keep the city clean. We also have moved to another practice, right? With if we're struggling with equipment, we can send our community team out there to just, sweep it, use the equipment, and do what we got to do to get everything up.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the comments, and someone mentioned that while we're on street sweeping is not happening, but residents are receiving tickets. What advice can you give the residents, or what should they do?
If you receive the ticket, you can reach out to my office, and we will make sure that ticket gets abated, right, or resolved, right? So if we did not sweep that street and you got a ticket, we have already said to residents and at community meetings that if you were negatively impacted by street sweeping not being swept and you still got a ticket, we'll work with the courts to get that resolved. And you can always call 973-733-3644. I'll let my team know, the customer service team know that residents will be calling in with this matter. They'll take your name, take your information, and then we'll work together on it.
Okay, okay. Also, too, with street sweeping being canceled, how do we find out about that? Like, what are you doing to work to notify residents in a timely manner? If because I know we had some cold days, right?
Yeah.
So we couldn't do street sweeping, it got canceled. So how do they find out?
So the website, we've in February this came up. We began to make the changes to where we wanted to notify the community. So you can check every day on the website. It's pinned to the Facebook Live, and you'll be able to see if we are sweeping and if we are not. On the rainy days, it's troublesome trying to sweep. When it's below 32 degrees in the wintertime, we do not sweep. It is not just the city of Newark rule, city and statewide. Most cities don't sweep when it's below 32 degrees. The reason being is because uh, the water in the machine can freeze, right? We can cause the machine to break down. Our brooms and most brooms aren't equipped to sweep when it is below 32 degrees.
Okay. And then I think a question that mostly the whole entire city who did not receive trash cans.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the trash cans and when can people expect their trash cans who did not receive them?
So, So first, I'll talk a little bit about how we got here and the why, right? When we rolled out, well, big shout out to the mayor, obviously, for putting together this project and allowing residents for the city to give a residence trash can. No other city does that for free. So when we were tasked with the project, we began to look at our data and what DPW did. We phased it out into 4 phases, right? So we already passed phase 3, but we targeted the areas who are most problematic as it pertains to litter, right? And the of residents who did not have trash cans, right? The initiative was to keep the city clean and reduce rodents. So we did it based upon our data. Many residents are trying to figure out, hey, how come the street around the corner, my neighbors got some and I didn't, right? Or right down the street. That was because we followed our data. We could not buy, 30 plus thousand cans in just one shot, so we phased it out. But to answer your question, Serenity residents, we do know who has not gotten a can. We have the information. We have a database. We have a system. You should be expecting those cans between the last quarter of the year. That is between September and December. I do want to echo and highlight that might change due to where we are, in the economy as far as tariffs and things like that, right? So, but as of right now, we are optimistic that you can see it in the fourth quarter. And if and if things change, we will notify you through our community meetings with People Assembly, and it'll definitely be on our website.
Another question is that with the garbage cans, a lot of people say, how come my neighbors got one and how come I didn't get one, or two houses got on the block got one and nobody else got it? Can you just, try to, talk about that part? How did
Yes,
that happen?
yes, yeah. No, so full transparency. When we hired a vendor to deliver the cans, right? We did not have the capacity or the manpower to deliver it. We sat down, we had a meeting, things, got mixed up in the delivery. So when you have a company, bringing cans, they may have gave, things got mixed up by accident, right? Those are things that we are working on fixing. If you have not received the can and your entire street got a can and your neighbor got a can, feel free to reach out to us again at the number 973-733-3644. I will make my team aware of some of the concerns that were coming in today, and they'll be able to take your information, and we can try to expedite that as soon as possible, right? So the whole goal is to be able to make sure that we can resolve the matter, and I think that we can. And everyone
Thank
will get
you.
a can. I just want to be clear. Everyone will get a can.
Thank you. Before I go into about partnerships, I just wanted to just kind of give clarity, right? So if I needed a recycling can, right, what do I do if I didn't receive the blue cans that you're talking about being clear on? Those are the cans that has to be distributed. So if we could let people know if they need a recycling can, what it is to do.
If you need a recycling can, you can come to our headquarters at 62 Frelinghuysen Avenue. You can come between 7:30 and 3:30. You can show your ID. One of our staff members will sign it off for you, and you can take your can. One per household. One per household.
Okay.
And that means
Okay.
if you have a 3 family, you can get 3, or 2 family 2, and things like that.
Thank you, thank you. So those were a lot of questions that what was discussed at the community meetings, touching base on those questions. So if you missed the community meeting, that was the information that we provided to the community. Talking about how we, Newark People's Assembly and DPW is collaborating. We're working closely with community cleanups. We did a couple community cleanups, which in December we worked with Rutgers and high school students to do a citywide cleanup, which was really excellent. Also, just this Saturday, we partnered with Clinton Hill Community Action and Beautify the Block. I'm sorry, with Beautify the Block and Keep America Beautiful. And we collected a lot of we collected a lot of literature and also as well as debris. So we're just trying to help, engage the community on how to, be a part of cleaning as well as we're doing our part on the city side. So we're asking, for the block associations to get involved, making sure you register with my office to help, build a relationship and collaborate with community cleanups. We're here to support you and help improve the cleaning of our city. Um, Also, with upcoming collaborations, I know we have uh, this call of action, right, for the whole entire city to be about cleanliness and beautification at the events. So if you want to, Tariq, please let us know, like, what does that look like? What do we expect?
Okay, yeah. So before I jump into that, I just want to talk about the illegal dumping question that you asked. I don't think that I answered that.
Oh, okay,
Um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's okay. That was on me. So just gave an updated report. Illegal dumping in the city is up by 111%. Right, that is outside of our recycling schedule. Us making that adjustment, that is our biggest issue in the city: illegal dumping. We are working with MPD. We are bringing back our illegal dumping task force. I will say, our team, our supervisors, we are adamant about, addressing that issue. The most important thing that we need is the residents, right, to let us know when they see illegal dumping. If you see something, say something, you can call the number, reach out to us on our website. But in order to bridge that gap and to make sure that we are abating and cleaning up these things, right, we need it to be a collaborative effort between, the residents and DPW. So as it pertains to the call to action, prior to me being the director of DPW, I was the director of operations at Workforce, and we were in charge of the summer youth employment program. And what I realized from me being there and me being here now, that there were a lot of organizations and partners in the city who are all about beautifying and cleaning the community. And then when I came to DPW, I just wanted to kind of like bridge that gap because we would send, hundreds of youth to organizations in the city to clean up. And now over here in DPW, how do we expand our resources? How do we touch the city more? And I believe that, many of our organizations and partners are sometimes unintentionally working in silos. So in June, Corinthia can give the date, we're going to have, citywide organizations to be able to come out, meet with DPW, talk about our schedules, talk about the resources, talk about what we can and can't do and what are our limits and what our expectations to be able, to just move the city forward, as the administration wants us to. And mainly be able to provide, the quality of service and increase the quality of life that every Newark resident deserves.
Right. So that date is Saturday, June 14th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Be on the lookout from Newark People's Assembly, also the City of Newark webpage, and also DPW. We're calling the action of all Newarkers to help get involved. Come to that meeting, be a part of the cleanliness and the beautification of Newark. If you're a high school student, if you're a block association, if you're a tenant association, all community partners, we want you all hands on deck to keep our city clean. Again, it's on Saturday, June 14th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. If to register or to inquire, you can call 973-733-3265. We'll have a flyer out shortly so you can register as well. Also, I see in the comments, right, people are asking about how do we know if we have a block association. You could reach me at 973-733-3265 to see if you have a block association. If you do not have one, you could reach out to me to help create it. I will help you create your block association, walk you through the steps. We asking everyone to be a part of the organizing and work, getting involved. Mayor Baraka is very adamant about, creating block association, organizing. And if you just don't know, we have the doorbell camera initiative. So once you create a block association, you get up to 15 free doorbell cameras on your block for the block association. And that's to help deter crime or whatever it is. It also will help with the legal dumping, right? Catching it. We had some block associations who was able to share their cameras of illegal dumping. And that's how we were able to abate the situation, but also take further action with that. We're pretty much, I'm just going to say final words. Again, North People Assembly is here. We want to make sure that you're making your voice heard, you're getting involved, you're coming into community meetings. Also, when you have a block association, your meetings, call so we can come out and support you and help you, bring out the different departments in the city. Mayor Baraka can also attend your meeting. Please call 973-733-3265. You can also email me at mcelroyc@ci.newark.nj.us and follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well. With that being said, Director Roland, do you have any, final take that you want the community know to how to support DPW and basically making sure they are aware? If you could just repeat the new garbage schedule as well as the new trash schedule. I'm sorry, and then also how to get in contact with you.
Okay,
Thank you.
So our recycling schedule will be collecting from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. the day before. If you were in Zone A, that means if your collection is scheduled on Mondays and Thursdays, we are asking that you place your items out at 6 p.m. on Sunday night and Wednesday night. That is for Zone A. We'll be working through the day before until the morning to abate. If you are in Zone B and your material collection day is on Tuesday and Friday, place your items out on Monday night at 6 p.m. and Thursday night at 6 p.m. And we will be able to collect it. So by the time you wake up, your recyclables will be gone. A few things I do want to add, takeaways, right, Cerinthia, is for us to be able to, if a resident wants to do a block cleanup, a community cleanup, you can reach out to us at the numbers and contact information that we gave you. DPW will, give you or lend you the rakes, the shovels, the trash bags. If you bag it up, we'll even then come pick it up, right? We can work together every day, every weekend of the week to be able to make sure that, our city is clean but stays clean. I think that's pretty much it for me. Outside of, no, there is one last thing, is our satellite sites. You can find our satellite sites on the website. And with those satellite sites, it's kind of like mini stations or sub headquarters to serve the residents. You can drop off your leaves bag. You can bring extra bulk. You can drop off your trash. You can anything and everything except for renovation, right? Or construction. But you can use the satellite sites to be able to get rid of some of your materials if you don't want to wait. If you're in Zone A or Zone B, if you don't want to wait to the third or fourth Wednesday for your leaves, to be placed out there, you can drop those off. If you have extra items that you want to drop off and bulk things like that, you can take it there. Those locations are there to serve you. Please use our website, please use our telephone numbers, and if you see some things out there, rather than be frustrated, but communicate with us so that way we can abate it and get it up in a much, much timely manner. But thank you, Cerinthia. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, administration and city, for the opportunity. I'm excited about what we can do. And looking forward to it.
Before we go, I know we said we were going to go, but the comments are, they're asking questions.
Okay.
So about, if you could talk about, just how the mattress pickup was, what are we doing? How does that work?
So mattresses, as per the ordinance, must be wrapped up. You can wrap it up with an old bed sheet. You can, so residents use plastic. You can use a cover. It must be wrapped up to protect our employees, right? 10 pieces, as we're talking about, bulk residents should be putting out no more than 10 pieces of bulk on their bulk pickup on the first and second Wednesday.
Also, and then we just want to encourage, a lot of recycling with the boxes are blowing. Please, residents, tie your cardboard up. Please, we want to encourage you to keep it when it gets windy or if it gets rain, it's all over the place. So please, someone asked that in the comments. We want
Yeah.
to move forward with residents tying their cardboard up.
I think even a more effective way, Sarinthia and residents,
Mhm.
you can come down and get a blue recycling can,
Right.
right? Right. You can come down and get a can. It is legal to place your cardboard in a blue recycler can. If you don't have one, please come down and get one. And we can continue to work together. And just bring your ID. Must be a resident of Newark. And sign you out a can, and we don't have to worry about things blowing. It comes with a lid, you know, and we'll be okay.
And before we go, I just want to, say thank you to Miss Brenda Anderson for all that she has done for recycling. A lot of people in the comments are, sending condolences to her family and how instrumental and amazing she was with the recycling department. So with that being said, we're going to close out. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Remember to call the numbers. Let us know. Help us help you. Help us help you and the city of Newark keep the community clean. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.